Okay, so Meredith, now we've explained to you about confidentiality, I'll just come on to ask you the questions that I wanted to go through with you for today, okay? I'm going to ask you about a number of questions about different areas of your life. So first of all, I'd like to get a general idea of the sorts of problems you've been having recently. What have they been?
Sleep. I haven't been sleeping enough. That affects my work, affects my concentration at work, affects my ability to do my work really, because I'm dozing off there. Yeah.
Okay, so poor sleep, which is affecting you at work. What other problems have you been having recently?
I think I spend a lot of time cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I go to bed late, and then I have to wake up because I have to clean some more.
Okay, so the cleaning and the sleep are related.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you had to identify one factor, what do you think is the main reason that brought you here today?
My husband gave me an ultimatum. He said that if I don't sort myself out, don't sort my cleaning out, he's going to take the kids and leave, because they can't live like that anymore.
Okay, gosh, that must have been really difficult for you. Okay, so let's come on and ask you a little bit more about this cleaning behaviour that you've described. Can you tell me how often you're driven to clean over the course of the day?
I think as long as I'm awake, like I spend a lot of time cleaning.
So you'd say almost constantly throughout the day? Almost,
yeah.
Okay. And tell me some of the things that you do, like some of the cleaning that you do.
So at home, I will clean everything that comes into the home. So if my children comes home from school, I will clean their school bags. I will clean everything in their school bags. I will wash their shoes every day. If they introduce new items into the house, like their classmates gave them a new toy or a cake or something, I will clean the cake box and I will clean the toy. I clean plastic bags, grocery bags. I disinfect phones a lot, because I feel like they're really, really filthy. Like you go to a hawker center and you leave your phone on the table, and then you come home and you put the phone on the bed. So I've disinfected that so much that I've actually spoiled my husband's phone.
Okay, yeah.
He got really mad. When my children and my husband come home, I would insist that they kind of tiptoe to the shower, and I will clean the floor surface as well.
Okay.
At work, I go to work an hour early so I can disinfect my table.
Yeah.
And I get really upset if my colleagues borrow my stationery, because I don't know where the hands have been, and I get really, really anxious and I have to clean it again. Okay. And after all the cleaning, I have to then go and wash my hands repetitively.
Okay. So cleaning, very dominant at home, but you've also mentioned at work as well, to the extent that you're going in early. You just mentioned washing. So can you tell me a little bit about washing of yourself?
I think the main problem is that I wash my hands a lot, so my hands are really dry all the time. After I disinfect things, I feel like the bacteria, the germs have kind of gone onto my hands, so I have to clean them often. I've tried to wear gloves, but then I felt like the gloves were a bit powdery, and then I had to wash my hands again.
Okay. So mostly washing of hands, like frequency of showering or anything like that?
No, I think with showering, I shower, before I go to bed and when I wake.
Okay.
I probably spend about 45 minutes to an hour each time.
Yeah, okay.
But I think that's alright. I think it's more, the cleaning and washing of my hands.
Cleaning and washing of your hands, sure, okay. So I just want to check with you about a few other behaviours that sometimes people feel really strong urges to do as well, okay? Do you ever find yourself counting, like having to count certain numbers or letters or even objects in the environment?
No.
Okay. Do you find yourself having to check things? Like say check the front door lock, or check whether you've left like the kettle or the oven on?
No, but I check whether I've cleaned.
Yeah, okay.
I will check if I've cleaned it before, and sometimes I'll clean it twice if I'm not sure.
Sure, okay, so it relates back to the cleaning. Do you ever find yourself kind of hoarding things or keeping hold of things?
No, in fact, I try to throw as much things as I can, so I don't have so much to clean.
Yeah, okay. And do you ever find yourself kind of repeating things to yourself internally? Any words or phrases or perhaps prayers?
No.
No? Okay. The last one asked a little bit about rules. Now, it sounds like there are some rules in your house, because you mentioned when your children come home that there's certain things that they must do. Tell me a little bit about the rules that you have.
So I feel really uncomfortable if my family members come home and they sit on the dining chair or the sofa with their clothes that they've worn when they've gone out.
Okay.
So I'll insist that they would have to go into the shower immediately, and I often kind of request or demand that they tiptoe into the shower.
Yeah.
And they take a shower immediately and change into home clothes before they sit on the bed or on the sofa or on the chair. Then I would clean the floor surface that they've walked on, but that's really difficult because it's really hard to kind of keep track of where they've walked on. So I would clean the floor twice when they come home. If they sit on the sofa immediately, then I would have to remove the sofa covers and wash them.
Okay. So the rules are particularly around the kind of routine that you've set for cleaning in the house as well? Yeah. Okay, sure. Are there any thoughts or perhaps images that come up in relation to cleaning?
I'm really concerned that if I don't clean, my children will fall sick.
Okay.
And that they will get hand-foot-mouth disease, or they will fall really ill, and in some circumstances they might die.
Okay. So very worrying thoughts for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do these kind of thoughts come up repeatedly, you find, over the course of the day?
Not repeatedly, but when I don't clean, then they come up.
Okay, all right. Sometimes people kind of get pictures in their minds as well. Do you ever get kind of pictures in your minds of things?
Not particularly. No, maybe sometimes like images of them falling sick.
Yeah.
But not very often.
Okay. Any other thoughts that come up?
Maybe I'm going crazy.
Yeah. You worry about that? Okay. So you worry that having these kind of thoughts means that you might be going crazy? Yeah. Okay. So you said they don't come up repeatedly, these thoughts. What kind of percentage of the day do you reckon they're there?
Sorry, say that again?
You seem a little uncomfortable. Are you okay?
Sorry, I usually get really uncomfortable when I go to a new place.
Okay,
and I'm just a bit distracted thinking about how clean the chair is.
Yeah.
You know, whether it has been disinfected before.
Yeah.
But your clinic looks really new and really clean, so I'm trying to just, sit with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty brand new clinic actually. If that helps to reassure you. So we haven't had many people through the clinic yet. So, do you feel okay to carry on sitting there and continue with the interview?
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know if you get really uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just go back to that question. What percentage of the day do you think that you have these thoughts about your children falling sick? How often do they come up?
Maybe 20-30% of the day.
20 to 30%. Okay. And when this thought comes up for you, how strongly do you believe that it's true?
Most of the time I'm able to talk myself out of it. Like, I know it's not true because I've done all my research about hygiene and contamination.
Okay.
So I know that, yes, there's a lot of bacteria and contamination and hygiene in the environment. But I also know that our body has the mechanisms to deal with that, and we'll not all just fall sick just because we touch, a dirty surface. So, like, logically, I can tell myself that, no, my children are not really going to fall sick and die from that. But if I don't clean, I feel really anxious and I feel really uncomfortable and I feel really guilty, like I'm not playing my part as a mother, I'm not looking after them.
Okay.
So I think logically I can understand, but I find it really hard to not, do the cleaning because I feel uncomfortable.
Sure, okay. And I want to come on and ask you about that link between the kind of the thoughts and the cleaning, and particularly about times when you've managed to kind of not clean, because you've said about that, okay? So it sounds like when the thoughts aren't in your mind and they aren't so present, you're able to kind of rationalize a little bit and tell yourself kind of not to worry about them too much. But there are times in the day when that gets stronger, the anxiety gets stronger, and perhaps you start to believe them more, and then that's when the urge to clean really comes in. Yeah, okay. How do these thoughts come into your mind, do you think?
I think when I see my children bring new stuff home,
Okay.
and I start to think about, where it's been, where this item has been, who has touched it. So if I were to give you an example, this morning when I left home, I found it really hard to press the lift button as well, to touch surfaces. And I usually use my key to press the button.
Okay.
But I was thinking like, who else would have pressed this lift button? Were they sick? Did they have flu? Did they pick their noses? They probably didn't wash their hands and they're going to touch that, or did they touch something dirty and I'm going to touch it and I'm probably going to bring it home. And then when I hold my children, then my children are going to, the bacteria get transferred onto them, and then maybe the immune system is not great and they fall sick.
Okay.
And if they fall sick, if the doctor cannot cure them, they might die.
Okay.
And they often start like that.
Yeah. So that there you kind of demonstrated for me really what happens in your mind. So something as simple as seeing something in the external environment, like a lift button, leads to this train of thought, which ends up with a huge worry about your children dying. Yeah, okay. Okay. So we've got a bit of a link here then between the thoughts that you're having and the cleaning behaviour that you're doing, okay, the cleaning and the washing. So if we focus a little bit on that cleaning and that washing behaviour, you said constantly, so I wanted just a little bit more detail. On average day in the past month, what percentage of the day do you think you spend cleaning?
I think maybe I spend at least 70% of my waking time cleaning.
Okay.
I will wake up to, after I shower, I will prepare my kids for school, and then I get to work early and I start cleaning. I start disinfecting my table, and then in the mornings I tend to be able to get a little bit of work done after cleaning. But in the afternoon I start to get really sleepy, and then I struggle.
Okay.
When I get home after I pick the kids, I start cleaning all through until about 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, so 70% of the day. And for hand washing?
I wash about maybe 40-50 times.
40 to 50 times, okay. And does it feel as though that you're carrying out these behaviours more than is really necessary, that you're spending too much time on them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You said a little bit earlier that, you kind of try maybe to resist these behaviours. How often do you think you try?
I try every day. I really try every day.
Yeah.
I didn't want to touch the leave button, but I will force myself to touch it, and then I will force myself not to wash my hands immediately. But then I really get very uncomfortable and very anxious. I try every day, but it's not enough. I'm not changing fast enough.
What's making you really upset thinking about this?
Yeah, because if I don't sort myself out, my husband will take kids and go.
Wow, so it feels like an awful lot of pressure. And something you're trying really, really hard to change, but it's really hard for you to change.
I'm really trying. Yeah.
It's really brave of you to be trying so hard. I can see, you've described the thoughts that you have, and to have those thoughts in your head, and then to not want to, try not to do something about it must be incredibly difficult for you. It's a, if I can say as well, it's a really good starting point for coming to see someone like me, like a psychologist, because this is the kind of thing that we would be doing together. So it's really great that it's something you've started to do yourself. It's understandable that it's been a real struggle for you. And if you were to come back for therapy, it's the kind of thing that we would work on together, and I would be supporting you to take real baby steps to address these kind of behaviours and to learn how to not carry them out in a way that doesn't leave you feeling so overwhelmed with anxiety. Okay, so I know it feels really difficult right now, but I guess I see it as a real positive sign that you are trying not to do these some of the time. Okay? There's some tissues here as well if you'd like. How are you doing? Okay. You okay to continue? Yeah? Okay. The next question asks really about how anxious you feel if you can't carry out these acts, which you kind of answered for me already, that you actually feel incredibly anxious. You do try, but the anxiety gets too much. Yeah. And it sounds like then it might also affect your sleep as well, that's kind of, it keeps you up at night worrying about it. Yeah, okay. I want to double check as well, because earlier you have given me the link for this, but the main worry about what might happen if you don't carry out these kind of cleaning behaviour is that your children will fall sick. You'd say that was the main worry, yeah? Is there anything else that you worry about might happen if you weren't able to clean or if you stopped cleaning?
My husband as well.
Your husband?
That he will fall sick.
Okay. And yourself? Do you worry about yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if my husband and I fall sick, then the children will likely fall sick.
Okay. So it's kind of everyone in your household. Okay. And in what way have these thoughts about people falling sick and all the cleaning, how have they interfered with your life? Yeah.
My husband will leave me. He said he will leave me. He said he's giving me 6 months to sort myself out, and if I don't stop, he will take the children, because my children are starting to clean like me. My children are upset with me because they say I don't love them, I don't play with them, and I don't read to them, because mommy spends all the time cleaning. I don't get to see my friends at all. I don't have time to see my friends. My friend just had a baby and I can't go see her. I am chronically tired because I don't have enough sleep. If I don't clean, I can't sleep, but if I clean, I have only about 3 hours of sleep every day. It's starting to affect my work. And I'm making a lot of mistakes at work. Okay. And I don't think my colleagues like me because they get really impolite if they take my things. Okay. I can't use public toilets because they're really dirty. I don't even use the toilet in my office. So I was recently treated for urinary tract infection because I was holding my pee. So I think my health is affected.
Yeah.
But that's okay now, like it's treated.
Yeah. But a huge impact. So your family relationships, your social relationships, your life at work, your health has all been impacted by this.
Yeah.
Okay. And how bothered are you by having these symptoms? How much does it worry you that you have them?
Very.
Yeah. Okay. Just a few things I want to check out, because sometimes thoughts like these and kind of behaviours like these can be triggered by other things that have happened in our lives, okay? So I just want to check whether you've regularly been taking any kind of drugs, either kind of illegal drugs or medication that your doctor might have prescribed that's new. No, okay. And have you had any kind of physical condition or health problem recently, just before these thoughts started? Okay. So when did you notice that the thoughts and the cleaning really became a problem for you, that it really started to interfere with your life?
I think it was maybe about the time that Colin was born. Colin's my first child.
When was that?
That was June 2012.
June 2012. Okay. So were you under stress at that time?
Yeah, because Colin was sick a lot.
Okay.
He felt sick a lot, and I didn't really know what to do. And I was a new mother. I read a lot of books, but I didn't know what I could do as well. And I thought maybe he was sick because the house wasn't clean.
Okay.
So I started cleaning more than usual.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And it's a really stressful time becoming a mother for the first time, and then to have a sick baby to look after as well. I can see that would be really stressful. Anything else in your life, like before this, that you think might be related to the problem?
I thought about this a lot, and I wonder whether, like, it was many years ago, maybe it's somewhere in 2003 thereabouts. Singapore had an epidemic, SARS. Do you know?
Yeah. I read about it at the time. I wasn't here then, but I did read about it.
Yeah, so a lot of people were getting sick.
Yeah.
My mom fell sick during that period as well, and she had flu-like symptoms, and I started to get more worried about like health, and worried about hygiene and bacterial contamination, germs, things like that.
Yeah.
She wasn't diagnosed with SARS, it was just a normal flu. But I think at that point I started to be a bit more alert and started to make sure that the house was a bit cleaner.
Okay. So it's about 14 years ago that you started to worry a bit more generally about hygiene and contamination, but then mainly 5 years ago, coinciding with the birth of Colin, your son, that the cleaning really took off and started to really interfere with your life.
Yeah.
Okay. And around that time as well, as we know, saying that new motherhood can be a very stressful time. Were there any other kind of particularly family or relationship problems that were going on?
No.
No? Okay. And at work, any particular problems there?
No, I was on maternity.
Okay, and you went back to the same job after maternity. Okay. And within the family, any financial or legal problems? Okay. And any health problems for yourself or anyone within the family?
No.
Okay. And so besides this kind of current period of time, which I guess has been slowly building, but has been pretty consistent for 5 years, have there been any other times in your life, like separate times, when you've had similar types of problems?
No.
No, okay. Okay. So that covers everything that I needed to ask you for today, Meredith. Is there anything that you think's important for me to know that you haven't told me yet?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so are we okay to finish there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Great. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks.